a lady will just like a guy, and then she will feel that somehow a miracle will happen and this brother will reach out. There are places that give opportunity for interactions and relationships. It's not even right for you to be blunt to tell a guy, I love you and I want us to get married. It's a no. But then there are ways you can actually register your interest without sounding or looking desperate. And one of them is by being available in places where you know that you will meet potential brothers. People think that talking to a lady is easy, but there are some brothers that it will take them a whole lot to talk to ladies. So when they see a lady that they like, and then the lady is not even showing interest, there is a difference between showing interest and showing desperation or being desperate. The fact that you are friendly, you are accessible, you are cordial, it doesn't make you desperate. But some people believe that, okay, once a guy approaches you and you're smiling, it's as if, oh yeah, no, it doesn't make you desperate. In fact, what makes you a lady has to do with the value system you have built over time. You can smilingly tell a guy no to sex without making the guy feel bad. But there's a way you say it, and to you feel that, okay, I'm being sophisticated, but you just showed your ignorance. One of the questions my husband asked me when we were cutting was, will you like to have the kind of marriage your parents had? It's a very sensitive question. Because if you feel they got it right, then you learn and still know that you're marrying a different man. Because that's another mistake people make. They want to compare whoever, maybe their ex or whatever, with the man they want to marry. The principles of marriage work anywhere and in all conditions, but the uniqueness of a marriage is peculiar to that marriage. So if you see a man open a car door for his wife, you don't expect your man to do the same. Because that's the uniqueness of that marriage. Your husband has his own uniqueness. Do you understand me? But the general principle of a tribal marriage is do kind things to your spouse. A beautiful relationship doesn't mean there won't be arguments. There should be arguments. That's why we have shawarma. That's why we have suya. So that at the end of the argument, somebody will buy suya now and apologize. No, just in fact, a relationship will even be boring without arguments. I don't know how to explain it though, but it should be boring. Every time people are laughing, like, no, what's the way I carry face pass? Look behind to know if he's looking at you. I don't know how that's it. So this is my experience. Like, sometimes that time that we are cutting, we'll just have an argument. After the argument, my phone will just ring. I'll look. He's not the one. I'll keep the phone. I'm angry. I'm just angry. I'll be like, okay, call now. Hey, this message will come in. I will check. He's not the one. Hey, I'll just wait. Then later, he will tell me that he was having the same experience. Like, he was just like, call now. I want to call. All those things. So, arguments, positive conflicts bonds a relationship.
Before you got married to your husband, are you ready for this question?
Okay.
All right. Before you got married to your husband, did you play any role in getting his attention to you?
Wow. This is actually you're trying to catch me. We have to be very sincere. Okay, yes, I did. Okay, to some extent. Probably the story will help us to understand the role I played. We met 2015.
All right.
I was posted as the personal assistant to a principal in a school. I wouldn't mention the school. Somewhere around here. And I was passionate, and I'm still passionate about helping young girls discover their purpose and become their best. So, the church I was attending, he was the church teacher there.
Wow.
So the first time I entered the church, I saw him. I was like, wow, who is this? Yes. So, but then I didn't have to go there or whatever. But just my mind, I was like, this man of God is handsome. And then I waved it aside. So after some time, I had a passion of starting up a particular organization for the girls in the school because it was actually a boarding school, and I didn't know how to go about it. So during one of the events we had then, I met one of the senior officers, girls brigade. Let me just be open. Girls brigade, one of the senior officers. So I told her my mind, my plans of wanting to start the girls brigade in school for the young girls. So as I was just talking to her, the brother passed again. Then the senior officer called his name. I was like, Ugochukwu, come. Hey, thank God the girls came out at the right time. This young lady, she's passionate about starting something in her school, and you are the best person to help her get it right. So the woman said, whatever thing you need, reach out to him. Then whatever help you can offer, just make sure you render the help. Exchange contacts. We're like, okay, no problem. We exchanged contacts and we went our separate ways. Probably somehow because of this mindset that women are not to make the first move. Everyone went their separate ways. We forgot about the whole thing. So, but because that passion was still there to start up something, one of the days I reached out to him on Facebook. I told him I am so person. Do you still remember so thing? He was like, okay, yeah. So we started talking about the ministry, how we're gonna start. From there, something. He started telling me about his vision and passion for young people. And we told that we had similar visions and passion. So we wanted to start up a program for young people in the church. That was the same church I attended. And somehow he needed us to just do it, probably because I was already passionate about the same thing he was passionate about. So we started.
See the one smiling.
We started. So in my mind, it was just, a casual relationship, kind of. First of all, he was with my mentor before he became my fiancé. Because that passion, I already knew that I had something to offer, but I didn't know how to go about it. But his presence in my life then changed a whole lot. He was the one that helped me, or that was helping me and guiding me along the way. But then he wasn't saying anything about relationship and marriage. It's just about ministry vision, or chat as friends, talk about every other thing. So, and suitors were coming. Men of God, pastors. And each time they came around, then I would just discuss it with him because he was a mentor. I was telling him, this person proposed though, but I said no. I said, agree now so that I'll come that day and come and sit at the front, that kind of thing. At a point, it was as if, okay, let's just let everything go and slide. But because I'm the kind of person that I don't assume things, I always like to be sure of. And that's one of the things I teach ladies. Always just be sure where you are standing in someone's life. Don't assume it. So one of the days, I wanted to do that. We're just discussing now. Like, there's no deal because it was obvious to the both of us that this relationship was no longer normal. But then probably we're just scared of being honest about the whole thing. So, and then just as it is, people were coming and I wouldn't just keep assuming, okay, he loves me or he wants to get married. So I told him point blank, Oga, if we have something to talk about and all of that, there is no need keeping my heart for someone who's not saying anything and all of that. So that was when I knew that he was actually serious, because that day, the way I said it, I was very serious about it. Let me not say what he did. Well, the next action he took showed me that he has been waiting and waiting. Some brothers, they just want to, they're waiting for the right time, but sometimes the right time never comes. So maybe I made that statement or whatever. He went ahead and did the needful. It was later that he started telling me that those times I was telling him about those brothers that were proposing, that after every talk, he would go back and say, God, what is spell? Not possible. So that was it.
What was his reason for keeping you all that?
That's a place of probably waiting for the right time and then wanting to be sure that if he comes, I wouldn't say no, because we're already flowing as mentor, daughter, and some, not for my husband, but some guys, they don't like to fold their hands. So it's better they maintain a platonic relationship than stating their intentions, and at the end of the day, the lady's saying no. Some people don't, some guys just don't know how to bear that no, but I know it wasn't his reason. Probably he was just waiting for the right time.
And the moment he shot out, he quickly... Because
I
it has been your prayer point.
yeah,
now.
but I did accept immediately. I told him I would pray about
So
it.
if you are now to give young ladies advice on this, all right, because I've gotten your point, you played your role.
Okay.
What will you have to tell young ladies in regards to this? Should they go ahead to play their own role as well, or they should just keep waiting for the right time?
It depends on a whole lot of factors.
Okay.
First of all, just like I said, in as much as I liked him, but I didn't chase him. It was first of all a platonic relationship, and it was just because of that brigade stuff. Because even when the official introduced him, when I was like, this guy again. Because personally, I'm not the kind of person that wants to go after guys. So when she introduced him again, I was like, oh no. And what even made me to reach out was just the fact that he has been appointed as one that would help us start up the whole thing.
Okay.
So that was the major whatever. So when a lady feels that, okay, she likes a guy, it's not her job to chase after the guy. Something that was why I the last one of the post I mean, I said, sisters, learn to go outside. And then learn to greet brothers after service. Because sometimes a lady will just like a guy, and then she will feel that somehow, a miracle will happen, and this brother will reach out. There are places that give opportunity for interactions and relationships. It's not even right for you to be blunt to tell a guy, I love you and I want us to get married. And it's a no. But then there are ways you can actually register your interest without sounding or looking desperate. And one of them is by being available in places where you know that you will meet potential brothers.
Wow.
I love being blunt.
This is a full trick.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because some sisters will be pressing their phone in the house. I handle cases like that. And they'll tell you, no brother is coming my way. But they have this, what we call a triangular lifestyle. From church to school, from school to the market, back to the church. Attend conferences, they won't. Attend seminars, they won't. So where do you want to meet the brother? And even in the church, some of them, the pastor will say, after service, all the single ladies and brothers should wait behind. They'll be the first person to leave the church. Do you understand me? Like, they'll be the first person to leave. In fact, the pastor will even still be saying the grace. They've already left. They have, and then I know there are some brothers that have intentions. They'll be like, okay, this sister, I think I like her. After service, let me start up a conversation with her. Because some brothers, people think that talking to a lady is easy, but there are some brothers that it will take them a whole lot to talk to ladies. So when they see a lady that they like, and then the lady is not even showing interest, there is a difference between showing interest and showing desperation or being desperate. The fact that you are friendly, you are accessible, you are cordial, I don't even know the right word to use, it doesn't make you desperate.
I got that.
It doesn't make you desperate. But some people believe that, okay, once a guy approaches you and you're smiling, it's as if, oh yeah, no, it doesn't make you desperate. In fact, what makes you a lady has to do with the value system you have built over time. You can smilingly tell a guy no to sex without making the guy feel bad. But there's a way you say it, and to you, you feel that, okay, I'm being sophisticated, but you just showed your ignorance.
Wow.
So being accessible is different from being desperate. Being available is different, or showing that you're available. Because I know some sisters that some guys have actually assumed that they are in a relationship, probably because of the way they position themselves. How can you not interact with people and you want to be worshipped as a goddess? It's not wrong. It's not wrong. You want to be chased as a goddess? No, you create an atmosphere. That's even where the brother will feel like, okay, I played with my husband, then friend. If you see the kind of jokes we crack, but it doesn't change the fact that we have our value system we have. But some sisters are just so mean that they've not even given the brother the opportunity to shoot the shots. Because they're even scared what the outcome will be.
But is this really that easy? Like the way you are just saying, do you think it's really that easy for most ladies? Or do you think it's pride for some of them? that just act the way they act. Actually, there are some persons that might be because of their background and stuff
Their
like that.
background, yes.
So how will you help those persons now that for example, someone that is having that issue out of background
Okay.
and out of,
First of all, I think a lot of ladies need to debunk, excuse me, a lot of things they have built over time. Just like I say, some ladies believe that if they are jovial, friendly, it shows that they are cheap. But it's not true. So, apart from background, all of us, let me say all of us, okay, some of us actually had that kind of background. I've not always been a lively person. Let me use the word lively. During my secondary school days, my mom was so worried. In fact, I won't forget this scenario when she was talking to one of my teachers in school, and she was like, "I'm scared of this, my daughter. She's not social. She's always bitter." No, should I use the word bitter? Like, she was so scared. And my kind of person, I grew up in a Christian home, and I had this religious mindset and all of that. But exposure helped me.
okay,
And then, just like I said, when you begin to debunk some ideas you've built over time, it will help you as a young lady, because our background has no right to keep our back on the ground. We all have experiences from our background. So, in as much as, okay, we know this is it, this is your background, these are the things you grew up with, and it's affecting you. But then, if you keep giving that as an excuse, you wouldn't change anything about yourself. So the first thing you have to do is to actually have what we call a change of mindset, which will eventually lead to a change of attitude. That is repentance. For some Christian ladies, we need to repent again. Repentance is it's not just about answering altar call. Repentance is a change of mindset that leads to a change of attitude. So at this point in their lives, some of them just need to understand that, this is me, this is who I became because of the environment I grew up from and all of that. But this is not who I want to be. And because this is not who you want to be, you have to tell yourself, I need to make the necessary changes. One of the things that changed my mindset about a whole lot of things was the book I engaged in reading. I was so excited when I came in here and I saw the stack of books. I'm already thinking of the one to take home. I'm so in love with books. And believe you me, books changed my mindset.
Now I've known your secret.
No, reading books, it changed. Because even when I was in a relationship, when we were courting, at the point my husband had to tell me, stop reading relationship books. Do you know why? If you come to my library now, 80% of my books are relationship books.
Wow.
So because I was trying to get it right, I know that we've actually encountered so many broken homes and relationships in society. I want my own to be different. So I was reading books on relationship. In fact, I was listening to Fuka Adejumo as if, oh gosh, at the point, all that to tell me, okay, leave this ones now. Build your spiritual life, because it was as if the whole thing was, I just wanted to get it right. I wanted to know why relationships will keep failing, especially among Christians. So that helped me. It transformed my mindset. Even the way I relate with brothers, because I used to be
I'm coming to that. I actually have a question for you on that.
Okay.
But complete what you are saying, so I won't cut it off.
Ladies should learn to read. The counseling sessions I've had have actually showed me that most ladies, they are not interested in their personal development. In fact, there is one I'm still handling now. She told me she's not getting any younger, and she really wants to get married, and it's already keeping her in a depressive state. And a lady that is already depressed won't even give her breast. Do you understand? But when you are so occupied with reading, 1, 2, personal development, 3, passion pursuits, these things, you will see that your mindset will begin to change. Exposure. Personally, Apostle will always say, grant yourself the privilege of exposure. There are things I learned today, not because my mom taught me or my dad, but because I went out. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
I went out. I went out of my comfort zone. So for some ladies, you just need to leave your comfort zone. I know that place is so beautiful. Your comfort zone, pressing phone, lying on the bed, and all of that. But you have to live there because it's at the cost of these old things that your life will change. I used to be a tomboy. I don't know if I
Really?
still I don't know if I still have the traces, but I used to be a serious tomboy because I grew up with three brothers. Like three brothers came before me, three guys came before me.
Okay.
So I didn't have more of a female figure around me.
Yeah.
It so affected me. But what changed was the fact that um, I served at Delta State. That should be 2017.
Wow.
I was the state treasurer in NCCF. So for that reason, we were kept in a room, all the Cisco's, we call them
Okay.
Cisco's.
Yeah.
So, and then all of them were girlish. I was only, tomboy,
artistry.
yeah. So, throughout my university days, I can count how many times I carried handbag. It was school bags throughout.
Wow.
So, but being in the midst of those ladies for the next 1 year changed a whole lot about me. I discovered that, okay, this is not who you should be. You should be girlish, you should be this, you should be that. So that changed my lifestyle too. Do you understand? So ladies should learn to go beyond their experiences and create a life they want to live, because we all have backgrounds and experiences we don't want to bring up. But then what matters is where you're looking at and the steps you are taking to get to that place.
Wow. I'm learning a whole lot already. In as much as you are dwelling more on the ladies.
We are trying to be.
But don't worry, I'm getting a whole lot for myself.
All right.
I have a very interesting question for you.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready for this one? The question is just very simple.
Okay.
Do you think you would have done more
Okay.
as a single lady than being when you were in a relationship and being married? Let's just, since you're already married, do you think you would have done more as a single lady than when you are married? And I need a very honest and sincere answer. Yeah.
Okay, do you more? I don't think so. And at the same time, I think so. I don't think so. And at the same time, I think so. Why I said that is because being single, it's a whole lot of beautiful thing. Like, it's a whole lot of freedom. Let me use that word, freedom.
Yeah.
Whether you are marrying a man that gives you the independence you need, or whether you're marrying a man, of course you shouldn't marry a man that will give you that privilege. But when I was single, I can wake up one day and decide to attend an all-night program.
Okay.
Nobody will stop me. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
When I was single, I hosted conferences for single ladies. That was, at least for 3 consecutive years, we had a conference tagged for her conference. We'll leave on Thursday and we'll stay there till Sunday.
Wow.
When I was single, my covenant sister and I, we left our houses on the 1st of January 2017 for a retreat. And we stayed there for 3 days, praying. And a whole lot. Let me give you one instance after marriage. I was listening to our pastor Enenche.
Yeah.
And, there is a kind of message that you'll be listening to. The vibes will just be up.
Yeah.
So I was listening to that message, and then the prayer vibes were just something else. I was carrying my baby. He was sleeping.
Okay.
The moment the prayer got to a crescendo, I switched. I was praying, I was vibrating. Just the moment I wanted to get to the next level, the next thing I heard was, I was still praying in tongues, so I was like, it's okay. This guy refused to sleep again. I had to. I was trying to, balance the two.
Yeah.
At a point, I just had to wait. Okay, you sing for them now. You have to pamper them. At the end of the day, he slept. Guess what? The vibes.
Everything. Yeah.
So the first thing the Lord told me when that thing happened was, Remember the Lord in the days of your youth. Because the time will come. There are things you want to do. Not because the man you married is not giving you the space, but time and chance happens. And then there are things you just can't avoid. Do you understand me?
It's true.
You can't compare the life of a single lady or a single guy with a married woman or a married man. So, and at the same time, marriage opened a lot of beautiful doors for me. So that was why I said it's on the both sides, depending on who you are getting married to. My husband will never allow me to settle for less.
Wow.
I think that's one of, because there was a program we are organizing. A lady wanted to host me. She's still planning this. The focus was, why do women lose their flame after marriage, lose their passion, lose their vision? I've heard people say this a lot, and I've seen ladies that actually experience this. Like, they would tell you this lady was burning for the Lord, doing wonders and all of that when she was single. But after marriage, it was as if the whole fire went down. No, the fire did not go down. A whole lot happened, especially for women, because you men, you know how to tidy things off. There is no much changes when it comes to.
Explain that word later.
No, seriously. But for a woman, at least, okay, you have your struggles, but I think the struggle of a married woman, it's more, because you no longer cook when you feel like you cook when you have to. Let me not talk about the other room. There are so many things. So it's no longer about you. It's about us, the husband, the children. So, but a supportive husband, what a supportive husband would do is to make sure that the flames of his woman never dies, even after marriage. And that is why it's important for a lady to find herself as a single lady. Because if you've not found yourself as a single lady, finding yourself as a married woman, it will be very hard. It will be very, very difficult. So one of the things that have helped me was just the fact that my husband has never allowed me to settle for less.
Wow.
So even when I'm pregnant, can't see this, it can't stop you. Because the moment you start giving yourself those excuses, your body will begin to adapt. Just wait. When you are done with childbearing, you can start your vision. When you are done with childbearing, just wait. When they grow, at least, when they grow to an extent, you can start. No. So, in summary, the two sides are beautiful if you maximize them well. I always tell ladies, let me even look at the camera and tell you, dear lady, make sure you discover people's before you talk about marriage.
Say it again.
Please, dear lady, my beautiful lady, let me use my word. Make sure you discover people's. Make sure you discover yourself. And make sure you discover God before you think about marriage. If not, marriage will shock you. Let me use that word. Marriage will shock you. Marriage shocks me.
Really?
But it didn't shock me so much
because you already found yourself.
Yes. Because it sincerely, anybody telling you that marriage is easy, lie to you. Marriage is a whole lot. But it's easier for you see, I'm talking to ladies. I'm talking to women.
Good.
It's easier for a lady who has found herself to navigate through the challenges of marriage than, because some people think that marriage is all lovey-dovey. A guy bringing breakfast in bed every morning and all of that. It's beyond that. There will be times when you look at yourself after marriage, and if you don't have any other thing you are living for aside the marriage, you feel like committing suicide. I'm not exaggerating. Because you'll be like, is this what I was all hoping for? But when you are married and you are passionate about your purpose, you're passionate about God, you're passionate that you know who you are, you would discover that it will be a balanced diet. Because even the man will need you to survive. So if you don't even know you, it's a different ball game.
Wow.
So if you're single, maximize your singleness.
Continue
if you are
to be
married,
single.
no, don't continue. Don't continue. Marriage is very beautiful. No, don't even continue. I don't
Tell
want
me
to.
one beautiful thing
About marriage.
Yes.
Oh God, I want to.
That will make me now to desire it.
To desire it.
Yes.
You are one now, and you are chasing 1,000. Let's just start with that one. You're chasing 1,000 now. A time will come when you want to chase 10,000. I courted my husband for 5 years.
Wow.
Don't ask me questions on that. No, don't.
Yeah, we know.
Don't. But it's nothing compared to living in the same house with him.
Wow.
It's a different ball game altogether. Marriage is beautiful, beautiful. But just like I said, if you're not prepared, it will meet you unawares. Like, if you want to enjoy your marriage, just prepare for marriage and be sure you are marrying a prayer point. Sorry, a prayer partner, not a prayer point.
Yeah.
Because people say marriage is a scam and all of that. Most times it's because they married for the euphoria of marriage.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? There are two different things. If you marry for the euphoria, like, can't we get to get married and answer me, sis, and all of that. When you enter, you realize that, this is not what I bargained for. You understand?
Yeah.
But when you're married for the right reasons, I always teach ladies, marry for the right reasons, because there are wrong reasons for wanting to get married and there are right reasons. So if you marry for the wrong reasons and you go there and you're seeing a different thing, but if you're marrying for the right reasons, you are seeing a man, you know you have something, and you're going into marriage because you know you want to contribute your own quota to the life of a man. Like, just like I told you, my husband was a church teacher when we met. I always tell him, I carry favor for my head. Because the moment we got to the point of agreeing that, okay, we are taking this journey of marriage together, his appointment letter came out to go to theological school. And after theological school, he was ordained. And by God's grace, it has been from glory to glory. So when you have this consciousness that you're carrying something as a woman, you're carrying favor. Even the Bible said that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. It's an error for your husband to marry you and begin to go down. So no matter how I was contributing to his life as a single lady, you can't compare it to how I was contributing to his life as a married
And this is what many men are scared of.
Scared of.
A woman coming into their life and destroying everything.
Destroying everything.
Please advise the ladies again. Don't come to a man's vision and scatter it.
Scatter it. Make sure you have make sure you have the stamina. The stamina. I learned something, maybe it's out of what you're saying, but let me just put it. I learned something from the life of Zipporah.
Okay.
If I'm correct, Moses' wife. I think it sets my life on a course the moment I discovered that let me call it Rema.
Yeah.
You know, after that encounter Moses had with God, I didn't know God was angry with Moses.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was looking for a way to end him, or I don't know what happened, but that particular day, the Bible told us that God was set to kill him.
Yeah.
But then Zipporah stepped in. Okay. And she cut out a flint. I don't know the explanation, but then he now said, you are was it the life of my blood or something? But the husband of my covenant and life of my blood. Like, it has to do with covenant, it has to do with blood.
Yeah.
This can only happen in marriage. So I didn't know, but I think that was one of the reasons why God removed his hand. Because God honors covenants. So when a woman discovers that beyond being in a relationship, you're asking me, beyond being in a relationship, marriage binds you. Do you understand? Yeah. Like, there's a covenant binding you and your husband. That means you now have a sure stand in his life. Yeah. And when you look at him and say, this is not going to happen in your life, and you go to the room, there are serious cases that I don't pray with my husband about. I go and stand in the place of the act bearer, the covenant bearer, because if he is my husband by covenant and God respects covenant, there are things that's why some people that understand it in the other world, they will tell you the woman went out naked at night. Women, we carry power. But we don't know because we are begging for love. We are begging for love. Yeah. He broke my heart. But when we understand what we carry, oh God, not as my watch will my husband go down. No. That means I came to this. No, not at my watch. So I may not be everything the world wants me to be. But my prayer has always been, Lord, that which you want me to be to my husband, let me be to him. I can't come into his life and he starts going down. No, I can't come into his life and it becomes a super story. No, it should be from glory to glory. So
women need more of your duplicate. Like, seriously.
Marriage should be a lot of exposure for women, because beyond being his fiancé, because that I are still saying, God, what if what happens and I will not get married again? 5 years. That one, we'll talk about it today. The story for another day. Have experiencing a long-term relationship. It's a whole lot. But Okay, I think I'm going beyond borders, but let me just say it.
Don't cut
One,
it. You don't cut the flow. In Jesus'
one.
name.
I think one of the reasons why God gave me my husband early, let me use one early,
Okay.
because I was having suit was
Wow.
so
Men are naturally attracted to value.
to
now.
value, right? So I think one of the reasons why God gave me my husband early was for me to focus. I said, okay, now you've seen your husband. Okay, can we continue this journey? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and I thanked God that we didn't get married the time He proposed.
Wow.
It would have been a whole lot of disaster. Because I thought being a Christian lady was all you need, all that is needed to make a great wife. But it's not true. So the 4 years, because okay, we already courted for a year plus. We are planning to get married that December before his appointment letter came out. And the rule is that if you are single before you got the appointment letter, you have to go through the school as a single person. Then when you are done. So it wasn't, don't think that the 5 years was intentional. It wasn't intentional. Because then I cried. I was like, what if at the end of the day something happened and then? So it was a whole lot. But I think God used it to help me get focused so that I won't be wondering or worrying, okay, hey, which one am I going? Who is my husband and all of that? God just told me, okay, now you know I've reserved your husband and he's going through a process. Can we continue the process?
Wow.
So, it's a whole lot.
Interesting. This should be a full paid class.
Calm down. No,
Full one.
seriously, yes.
Full paid one.
Master
because
class.
This kind of secrets. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure.
But you can't convince me to get married.
You?
No, you can't. The conviction is not enough. Your proof.
It's not enough. Should I give you more proof?
Is that right? Don't mind me.
Right.
All right. Okay. Let me press further.
Okay.
Okay. Let me first ask this one anyway, since we're already talking about relationship. Are there mistakes you made in relationships while growing up that you wouldn't want other ladies to make? Yeah. Are there mistakes you made?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
This is actually a program that requires our sincerity. So, my first relationship was in my JSS3.
JS3.
JSS3, yes.
Really?
Yeah, after
So
my...
you already know love in JS3.
Should I even call it love? No, I think it was one of those juvenile whatever. But it was just after our junior WAEC, I had a girlfriend. She had a boyfriend.
Okay.
And the boyfriend had a boyfriend, like the boyfriend had a friend, a male friend. And because of the nature of my school, they were always scared coming to me. You know, those township. Okay, so they are scared of coming to me or approaching me for a relationship, because before you can even approach me, you must know how to speak grammar.
Wow.
Yeah, normally. So because we are close, the friend and I, that's why I always tell people that your association determines your acceleration. It's not possible that you tell me that you are a Christian and the person you are dealing with is an unbeliever. You're telling me, no, we know how to flow. It's a matter of time. Oh. So because they were already, my girlfriend already had a boyfriend. The guy now told my girlfriend to get me for him. You understand? Wow. And he gave her some money. You won't believe the amount he gave her. Though it was a big money then, it was a huge amount of money then. He gave her 14 naira.
14 naira.
14 naira. And he told her that 20 naira is for her.
Okay.
In Igbo, they call it egombado. Then 20 naira will be for me if I eventually accept or agree. So because she already knew my stand on the whole thing, no relationship and all of that, you know, that's just the way the devil spoke to Adam in the garden. If he said, is it true? So when she came like, is it true that you don't want a relationship? And so. To cut the story short, she convinced me and I accepted. Wow. And I accepted on the basis of, no touching, no kissing, no. You know, the way we used to list it.
Yeah.
The guy was like, no problem. And then we started. There was no phone then, or the phone, like we didn't have access to phone then. Yeah. So our only meeting time was every Tuesday, after ACM. So after that, after the whole thing, my zeal for ACM skyrocketed. My mom thought it was because I was zealous for the Lord. She did know that I had something I was rushing to.
Yeah.
So each time after ACM, he worried he doesn't attend ACM. He just wait for me under the mango tree and I'll come out. Then talking nonsense. Did you eat anything? What did you eat today? No, 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 no. I'll not be drawing map of Nigeria. No, 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 no. So as the whole thing went on, my friend was already having a sexual relationship with the guy, like her own guy. Well, me, I felt it was not something I should do. But one of the days I went home, I was washing my clothes on a Tuesday. And just the way someone said that on a Sunday morning, Sapa sat him down and looked him in the face and said, "You, I'll do it to you." So that day I was just watching and the devil came, sat down, and we started a discussion. You know, it was like, "Do you really say you love this guy?" I said, "Yes, and I love him." He said, "No, you don't love him." What do you mean? If you really love him, you have to show the world that you love him. GSS3. I was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "You have to be proud of him." I'm proud of him. No. So what are you going to do? When you go to SCM today, when you're doing SCM today, after the fellowship, come out and in front of everybody, just kiss him. So that the world will know that you're proud of him. I was like, huh? Are you serious? And then just the way the fruit looked so good in the eyes of Eve, the whole idea looked so good, and I planned to do it. And then I went for ACM. I didn't know God was serious on my case that day. Our ACM teacher. I didn't know who told her that I was in a relationship. So you can imagine when they use you as a topic for Bible study. She now started, Amara, I had you in a relationship with so and so person. I said, yes. And then she started washing. Like, God, she finished me that day. Because even at that tender age, I was already a star by God's grace. Yeah. People, my adult church, they knew me as a different kind of girl. And funny enough, some parents were like, can't you see how Amara used to behave? This is how you should behave. They didn't know me. I was a bad girl somehow. So she was talking to me. At the point, I was very angry. I started crying. And I was like, okay, I am old enough to know what I want. And since you decided to embarrass me before everybody, I'll go ahead and do this thing. Whatever that it will take, let it take. And we dismissed that day. The tears and everything was still on my face. I wanted to go meet the guy, and my mind was like, that's what we use as tease. Yeah. You want to spoil your tease, eh? See your face. After crying, what see guy with a guy? I'm gonna go home next time. You do this thing you planned. That was how I left that day. I didn't do it again, and then God came back. You know, the devil is always the first somehow. Yeah. So God came back. Is this the kind of life you want to live? Is this how you want to live your life? Is this the kind of example you want to set? So after that, I had a rethink, and I went ahead and ended the relationship. It wasn't easy. You know, when people tell people, break up now, they don't understand. It wasn't easy. They had to do it. And this is the part that pains me, but as part of the advice, I have to say it. That was now just 3. And then, that my girlfriend, all you used to call her then is, okay, so wrong with a man, Millie. I don't know how to explain. Like, she will go and succeed. Just one mistake, it will catch up with you. But before we are done with our sister, she got pregnant. And then she got married to, at the cost of trying to discard her in quotes. Yeah. She got married to a man that, I don't know about now, but last time I checked, the man was beating her, abusing her. And I knew this lady was very, 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 very unique. Her destiny was something else. But she ended up in the village, which is not a challenge. But if you see her, you just know that life actually happens to her. And then, years later, after my service, I was coming back with my khaki, and this same guy, I saw him, my friend, and he was an Okada rider. The moment he saw me, he came down like, hey, Auntie Amara, how far? Okay, he spoke it in English. Well, let me just say it in English. I beg 515 naira for your guy, make you see money chop. Like, the whole thing, my body was just filled with goosebumps. Like, is this the kind of life you would have ended up living? Yeah. So it was actually a heartbreaking moment for me, but I think it's a lesson every young lady out there needs to learn that first of all, you don't need to awaken love until the time, no matter what is happening. I met a girl that told me that she's 16 years and she's not in a relationship, but once she clocks 18, they said 18 is the perfect time to start dating. That was what she used.
Yeah.
So she's waiting for her 18th
18.
birthday so that she'll start dating. I had to sit her down and tell her a lot of things. Then the second mistake, not really a mistake, but an experience.
Yeah.
That was the two major relationship I had before marriage.
Okay.
After my SS3, it wasn't today that, let me not say the enemy, but it wasn't today that my destiny started being destiny. So this particular guy, he's the only son from a village. And as a young girl, I was just admiring him. Then after I said just train, the parents came to my house and told my mom that they wanted us to get married as the only son. So my mom and my dad were like, oh, we can't give out our daughter now. She's too tender. Let's wait. Once she's done with her SS3, you can come back. At least by then, she must have known if this is the kind of life she wants or not. So they waited. After my SS3, they came back. Because my parents were involved, that's another thing. Because my parents were involved, I didn't even know much then. I accepted the relationship. And God being so kind, I gained admission that same year after my SS3. And we started the relationship. Because it was, my parents were aware. I was free. So, because me, I don't give it down. I was free. So, it was a distraction. At least tell ladies, don't fall in love with a man who is not your husband. And then don't enter into a relationship until you're ready for marriage. Before you tell us that, okay, when you now finally meet the man, you're counting the number of guys that broke your heart. I met Emeka, he broke my heart. Because you are just wait when you are ready. So I thought I was, not that I thought, I felt my parents we are in support.
Yeah.
So, but it was a big distraction to me. Year one, what did I even know then? Then MTN now helped us. They had this, what they call it? Is it free call? 12:30 to 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we are maximizing it. Maximization in quotes. So every day we are talking from 12 a.m. or 12:30 rather till 4. And at the end of the day, I'll wake up around 6. First of all, I'll go to lectures late. My year one first semester result was a mess. Not because I was asleep, because we never had sex. But people thought having sex in a relationship is the only distraction. No. When you enter into a relationship, when it's not right, when you're not ready, it will be a distraction. So I was late to lectures and so many other distractions. But I was let's just be going. Since our parents approved it, I just knew I wasn't comfortable with him. That's another thing, people. I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes I wish I can open the ears of some ladies and tell them a whole lot. One told me that she'll be getting married. Is it this month or next month? To a guy she doesn't have any feelings for. Just the fact that the guy is a good guy. But it's not enough now.
Yeah. That's true.
So the whole thing came to a point. Thank God for God, though. I was trying to convince myself to just go ahead, get married. After all, the guy is handsome and he's from a rich home. Just go ahead and marry him. Other things will come in or fall into place, the feelings, the whatever. But then God knew the future.
Yeah.
And one day, the guy just called me that he was coming to my school. That was that first semester he won, to come and see me. I don't want to talk about red flags because, oh God, I was ignoring so many red flags because I felt that, we'll get along. Some ladies feel that they can get along red flags. It's well.
What do you call red flags in a relationship?
The obvious, life-threatening, negative, and serious matters that shouldn't be ignored.
Like?
Abuse.
Okay.
Domestic, verbal, emotional.
Okay.
Gaslighting.
Okay.
But the basic one is emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. How can someone be abusing you, calling you a whore, calling you all manner of names. Not just from the female side, even the male side. A lady that doesn't respect you, regard you, and insults you in courtship, you are feeling that marriage will change everything. It won't. A whole lot will go wrong in that marriage. But my brothers, once she has it, once she has the boobs and all of that, they want to ignore the red flags. And I know a man, a great man, what stunted or put his ministry, not even on hold, because it's no longer on hold, it's a whole lot of mess now, was kind of a woman she married. And painfully enough, he discovered the whole thing when they were still courting. And he told the woman, the lady, this thing is not working on. It's better we go our separate ways. People neglect all these things. We talk about compatibility check and all of that. They feel that as long as we are both Christians, we can work. It's not possible. It's not true.
Yeah.
There are things you have to check. So both of them, they have this sharp anger issue and sharp reaction to issues. If a lady has it, it's bad. But when it's from both sides, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But they felt, okay, we can deal with it. The woman, when they were cutting, the woman insults, downgrades, and once she's angry, so the man said, we can't do this. And when before he discovered it, or when he had discovered it, they already printed their invitation cards.
Really?
But the man was ready to step down because he was into ministry.
Yeah.
And he knows this is a long journey. The woman said, what will people say? This word, it has destroyed a whole lot of things. So that singular, what will people say, made him change his mind. And up to today, people are still saying,
That's
because
just
it's a whole lot. So when you ignore red flags because you feel you can deal with them, there are things that people call red flags that are not actually red flags. So when you tell me that a guy yawns, a guy snores. Like if you see people's definition of red flags, you will shock.
Yeah.
That one is not a red flag. That one is a habit that when worked on can change. Even body odor is not a red flag.
Really?
No, it's not. One thing I tell people is this person you are dealing with, if he is teachable or if she is, there is nothing as beautiful as a teachable partner. Bring all the all the bad habits, but bring all the bad habits. Just come with a teachable heart. It can change a whole lot. But our generation of ladies and men, we don't want it that way. We just want it perfect. So if there's anything that is imperfect, I used to be a very stubborn girl. Very stubborn. My husband tried to. Oh God. I don't want to go there.
You carried it into marriage too.
No. Okay. That was what happened in the period of courtship now. Because just as I said before, women or ladies, we have this mindset that we are the ones to be chased, we are the ones to be apologized to, even when you are the wrong person. You understand me?
But that mindset is...
So I was carrying it around. But that man of God, hey, oh Jesus. And that's one thing. See, what we can't tolerate in marriage, don't excuse it in courtship. That's what some people do. Okay, let's be going. This is courtship now. When we enter marriage, I will show you my truth. It doesn't make sense. If you see something in a lady, you feel you can't tolerate, don't be doing love. Then that's why sometimes a lady will tell you, hey, after marriage, this guy changed. He did not change. He brought out his full colors. Do you understand?
Yeah.
My husband, he was ready to deal with those things very courtship, and think what he did. Wow. Because, oh God. That was why I said, being a Christian lady is not enough. Yeah. I used to think that the fact that I was a Christian lady or I was a Christian I didn't know nothing was wrong with me. The worst kind of person to be in a relationship with is someone who feels nothing is wrong with her. Or nothing is wrong with her. Like she's perfect. So even when you are discovering things, because there was a picture my husband sent to me when we were cutting, I won't forget that picture. I don't know if you've seen it. A man had a whole lot here, like a brick, I don't know, and he was using hammer to cut it. The one he sent to me was a man and a woman. So the man was cutting, I won't forget that picture, was cutting that of the woman, and the woman was cutting that of the man. So he told me, this is what we are into. I have my negatives. You have your negatives. This is why we are here. to help each other. In fact, he didn't propose to me, that man. I told him he would still propose to me. Oh, God. Do you know what he told me? The day he came, he said, will you help me become better while I help you become better?
Nice one.
He not say, will you marry? He didn't even kneel down.
The man is too wise. I need to
Oh,
come
God.
and
No,
help him.
seriously. That was the word.
Yeah.
And that's what we are into, by God's grace. Like, the consciousness that this person is not perfect.
Yeah.
And the consciousness that you're not perfect, but you're coming together. I framed a picture in our room. I used that picture, then I wrote something. I said, marriage is the coming together of two imperfect people to create a perfect bond.
Wow.
So once you understand that you are coming into this and you are not perfect, and this person is coming in, he's not perfect. First of all, what will happen is that you will come with a humble heart and a teachable heart.
Yeah.
And then you create room for the other person's imperfections.
Yeah.
Let me stop here.
Wow. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I have one interesting question.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So you call it interesting.
All right.
Okay.
First of all, you are married to a priest, right?
Yes.
A pastor.
Yes.
All right. We're in a generation where ladies have issues with getting married to a pastor.
Pastor, yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the major reasons
Okay.
why I want you to address this. Because you are living with a pastor already.
Okay.
All right. Because most people believe that, as a pastor, as a minister, they sense that person as, okay, this person is perfect. Just like you are pointing from the point of imperfection and all of those
Okay.
things. What does it really look like to live with a pastor as a wife?
Okay, first of all, I am not living with a pastor.
Okay.
I am living with my husband, who pastors me, my family, and the people. So first of all, he is my husband.
Okay.
Before I didn't accept him because he's a pastor. I accepted him first as a person. Because that's a mistake some people make.
Yeah.
They look beyond the personality and accept the portfolio.
Wow.
Huh. If you marry a man of God because he's the man of God, and then his personality begins to show, let me not say you see shege. If you neglect the personality and marry the pastor or the portfolio, you are going to live with the personality, not the portfolio. The portfolio is what the world sees.
Yeah.
The personality is who he is. So let me start from there. What it is like to marry a pastor,
Yeah.
is what it is in quotes, like to marry the man you love.
Wow.
Because I didn't marry him because he's a pastor. I married his personality. So by God's grace, what I'm seeing and experiencing in my home is the personality. And then the pastorship is now the beautiful thing God added. Do you understand me? Because it's a whole lot of privilege. That's what I see it as. That's from one side. Then from the other side, when you marry a pastor, especially a man that loves God. Oh God. I don't know about others, but for me, I learned that anyway during courtship. My man of God. How do I explain it now? He hears from God.
Okay.
And the implication is that you can't. How do I explain it now? You can't. If I use lie, now it's as if I'm a liar. I'm not a liar. But there are things he can't do because he will find out.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain. He will find out.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the experience, but that was very courtship. There was something he asked me. Casually, I answered the thing. After some days, he came back. And he said, this thing you answered me, it's not correct. This is it. How did you know? I had impression. God. And what he said was the reality.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? So that's another aspect of it. If now I'm not talking about portfolio, mind that word is very important. If you marry a man from God, I think I prefer that word. It will keep you in check. I don't think that's what we ladies are afraid of anyway. But that is one of the things I am particular about. Knowing that this man hears from God, just the way you hear from God. And knowing that both of you are from the same tribe. And if you're from the same tribe, then your father cannot hide something from him.
Yeah.
So there are things that when I do, that's one of the implications of marrying the man of God. There's some things that when I do, you just come up, friend. You did this thing. I cannot lie now. I'll just accept. So I experienced that a lot during courtship, but it wasn't a problem. Then the aspect that people are scared of,
Yeah.
which I know, and probably that's what you've been waiting for me to talk about,
I've been waiting.
is
I've been going.
some people feel that men of God, they don't have time for their families, they don't have time for their wives and all of that. But I think it's not true. Not even I think, it's not true. That was why I said it starts from the personality. If there is any time my husband has been busy for some reasons, I won't be saying some things because this is a live broadcast or this it go viral. But if there is any time my husband has been busy, I don't think there's any time more than now.
Wow.
The office he serves now makes him very, very busy. But funny enough, we don't feel that busyness. I think I have to learn it from him. Knowing how to balance marriage, family, and ministry. I think he's inborn. Let me not say it's inborn, but he learns how to balance it. My husband can travel for a week for a program or a function, and somehow I won't feel it because he knows how to keep in touch. That's the word. He knows how to keep in touch. He knows how to make you feel his presence even when he's not present.
Wow.
No, I'm not trying to exaggerate.
Yeah.
This is it. He knows how to keep in touch. In a day, if he's not around, oh God, you can call 5 times. What is even 5 times? And after the calls, we'll chat. And then I think I'm not as accountable. Like I don't know what it means to be accountable until I married him.
Wow.
That's man of God is accountable. And that's one of the things I know by God's grace that helps us to keep in check. Once if he's about to board a flight, he either text or call, we are about leaving now. Once they land, babe, we just landed. Like, you not feel like, is this not too much accountability? But it will make you to be more accountable too and all of that. And his children, oh God, these ones. I don't know when this will be posted, but this morning when he was leaving he traveled this morning, the kids were like, oh, Daddy, we don't want you to go. We don't want you to go. Because that time he stays at home. He has a study, whatever, but he knows how to balance these things. He knows, and that's what I want to plead with men of God. Yes, you're a man of God, but you have a wife, you have children that actually, like, if the world goes bad now, you are coming back to this home.
Very well.
So if you serve the people, I've seen wives that are so bitter that they can't even stand their husband's sermon. Because these men, they are good outside and terrible inside. So others will be telling the wife, your husband is this, is that, hey, he's the God sent. The woman will be like, am I not the bad person? Because she's trying to understand if this is the man she's living with at home that people are talking about. This man neglects his home and everything, and then he goes out there, and there's sometimes that my husband will consciously switch off his phone. Even if the world is falling down, you see this family, I have to secure it first.
Yeah.
Because if at the end of the day he wins the world and loses his family, he failed.
Very well.
So that is the point. So that doesn't mean that there are not that we don't have distractions, but because he has learned to balance it, because you have to allow him to do ministry.
Yeah.
You don't have to be follow. This girl here calls me follow in my house. I was like, she came to my house and she was just seeing I was following my husband. She was like, "Hi, Mama, you too they follow. You understand me?" But that was the atmosphere he created.
Yeah.
But then, just the fact that he left, that's why it's important for a woman to find herself. Do you understand me? Because there are times that because you are over, as a woman, because you are overly, which should I use now? Clingy. You rob him of ministry. That's another negative, that's another side of it.
This statement is very deep.
Some women, they don't understand that. That's why it's good. You know that you're not just marrying a man, you're marrying his calling, you're marrying his ministry. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
There's some women that they want their husband all to themselves and by themselves. But he's a minister and he has to do the work of ministry. That is why you have to have your own life. Why it doesn't get on me so well when my husband travels is that apart from the communication and all of that, I have a life. Okay, right now I'm here recording.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. Even before I came here, we already talked, and I told him, "No, when I come back, I'll gist you."
Yeah.
Like you are living your life, but some women they are not doing anything. They just want the man that will be looking at them 24/7.
Yeah.
So there are times. Okay, we play about this at home every Wednesday. Pregnant women, they call my husband for prayers. You pray. This is what we call him. Once he dropped this card, I'm like, so we still making a joke of it. How like Pastor did the email. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
He's a man of God.
Yeah.
He will have to cancel single ladies, hot ladies, married women, men and brethren. That is why it's important to build trust.
Very well.
It's important to build trust, and it has to be like the two persons involved will have to help themselves. There are times that after a kind of chat, look at what this. Okay, should I even talk about that?
Go on.
I know all. I hope no one is planning to kidnap me. I know all the passwords, bank, everything about my husband,
Really?
and he knows mine. So, like he can drop his phone like this now and sleep, and he knows I have the password. What is he hiding?
Yeah.
Maybe please give me your phone. I want to do something. I'll give you my phone. Like this is what it should be. So he gave me enough reasons to trust him. And then he sets boundaries for himself too, because some pastors they don't know how to set boundaries. How can you be chatting with a single lady at night? You are doing ministry 1 a.m. Yeah, you're on call, you're chatting. You're not Jesus Christ, no. You're not. No, so
Yeah,
these are
it's
things
true.
that make some women they feel that husbands don't have, pastors don't have time for their homes. They feel that sometimes who they are on the inside is different from who the world is seeing, and when they revolt, they become the bad person. Then thirdly, some people don't want to share their husbands, but if you marry a minister, that is one of the things you have to experience. In quotes, you have to share your husband with the people. So it's a whole lot, but just like I said, because God has helped us to build trust over time, there are things I don't even put my head into. Like, I can't come and be taking his phone. Who did you chat with? Hey, have I finished my counseling sessions? Like, it just don't. It's sometimes it's because of lack of handwork. You'll be checking my husband. Who did he chat with? And all of that. That's why it's good to build trust. Build trust is important. Then help your husband, help your wife to gain your confidence. Help her, and it's not just in words, in action.
Yeah.
A call can't come in. You're discussing with your wife. A call comes in. You say excuse. You go to another place. Even if you don't have anything in mind, you're already building suspense and all of that. So, being a pastor's wife has been amazing and at the same time challenging.
Please help me and tell ladies to marry pastors.
Kai, man of God, you're a suspect. You're a suspect. No, but that is the thing. It's just because of experiences. The experiences people have had. I know people, ladies are saying, I'll marry a businessman. In fact, my sister told me that she's not going to marry a pastor. Said, Coach, don't worry, I'll marry a businessman. Then we bring him money for you tithes. Say so me. Like some ladies, they don't even want to hear it.
It's true.
But I know that one basic reason why it's like that is because they feel that pastors don't have time for their family, but it's not true. It depends on it's actually it's very hard. But any pastor that have learned to balance these things will thrive and enjoy his home, because at the end of the day, this is the home you are coming back to.
It's true.
There are some speaking engagements that my husband will consciously decline because he wants to be with the family. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So these are things that we also need to keep in check. You can't travel for 1 month. You just came back. And you tell your wife, I'll be traveling tomorrow again. I have another speaking engagement. You travel and stay for 3 weeks again. You come back. Hey, when you not have time for your family. So that place of balance is very important. I think it's because my dearly beloved is balancing it. That's why I may not have the experience you are looking forward to hearing.
No. You
Yeah.
already you are striking a strong balance already.
So-
like the value. I think we need to just have another section dedicated to women development.
Women, that
It's
is
very important because
oh God.
why you have this kind of understanding is that you have built it over time, not necessarily because challenges don't show up.
Yeah.
Your husband travel for meetings as well,
Exactly,
and all of
exactly,
those things.
exactly.
But just that you have built yourself to the point that these things you know how to handle them. So I think we will just have a separate session. So what I'm trying to say is that we are booking you ahead of time.
You know,
ahead of time.
the challenge is that some ladies, all they want is to get married and settle down. They just want to get married and settle down. That word, settle down.
Settle down.
Like, life is boring without purpose.
Yeah.
Whether you are marrying Jesus Christ, it's boring. Because we be looking at you every day.
It's true.
It's boring. So that is very important. Women should learn to know that there is a life. I love balancing it. Some people feel that career should overtake marriage. Like, I want to pursue. It's the extreme of it is also wrong.
Yes.
Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And then some women still believe that my life begins the moment I get married, which is very, very wrong. So it calls for balance, development.
Wow. I won't keep you again. I'll just ask you one more question,
Okay.
and then we'll now push the others to our next session, our next episode.
Okay.
All right, it's just very straightforward.
Okay.
There are ideas most ladies built around relationship, like beliefs.
Okay.
I don't know whether you have few of them that you would point out, like this is a wrong belief about relationship, and then look at the right one. Do you understand the question?
Yes,
at
I
all?
do.
Yeah. So just help us on that.
I've actually been waiting for this.
Yeah. So I left it for the last part.
Oh God. Okay. Why I was actually waiting for it was because I had some of those ideas,
Okay.
but experiences helped me to debunk some of them. One is the belief that love is enough to make a relationship work. So many people believe that once we are in love, our relationship will work. It should automatically work because we're in love. But it's not true. It takes more than love to make a relationship work.
Really?
It takes intentionality.
Okay.
Many people that went their separate ways today, both those that got divorced and all that, if you ask them, they'll tell you, I love this person. But we can't live together because it takes more than love. And people's definition of love centers on feeling. But the real definition of love, it's action based.
Yeah.
The Bible said that for God so loved the world that he gave. This is the evidence that I love you. I give. But people feel this is the evidence that I love you. I will feel like it. I don't know if you understand it.
Yeah.
So that's why some people tell you, I'm falling out of. If love is the only cord holding you in a relationship and in marriage, you wake up one day and you see that you don't want to marry again.
It's
Because the butterflies, a point will come, whether you like it or not. Those things that make you want to talk from 1 a.m. till 10. Oh God, use that. Life is more than butterflies. But what will keep you are things that are beyond the feelings, the butterflies. You talk about commitment, talk about intentionality. That word intentionality, I love it so well. Because it's intentionality that will make you to know that, okay, this person I'm dealing with. Okay, I didn't say this. I think I should say it somehow.
Okay.
During our relationship, our courtship days, maybe when I was talking about 5 years, maybe you were thinking it was 5 years of lovey-dovey. It was a funny experience. But each time we remember it now, we laugh. I won't forget 14th February 2017. we said we are not doing again. Everybody should go their separate ways. You know, there are people that when they look at our marriage, they be like, coach, we have a perfect marriage. I want to be like you when I grow up. I said, don't be like me. Oh. If you go through what we went through, it may break you.
Yeah.
It was so intense then that on the 14th of February, he said, I'm not doing it again. I said, no, everybody should go their separate ways. And after ending the call, me, I was crying. My roommate there, it was in my service here. So we were close. Like, what happened now? And funny enough, those times, if you look back now, you discover that those things that were causing frictions were irrelevant things. But because you felt everything should be feeling based, do you understand me?
Yeah.
You feel that the feeling should take care of this. If he loves me, he shouldn't do this. If he loves me, he shouldn't do that. But it's not true. So if you enter into a relationship with the mindset that just because he loves me and I love him, things will flow, it won't.
Yeah.
Highest is to flow for some weeks. Let me even give it weeks because the butterflies are there. Unless you are getting married to a pretender, then you enjoy courtship and you endure marriage.
I got that.
Dear lady, don't pray to enjoy the courtship and endure marriage. When you get married to a pretender, if you want him to take you to Tanzania when you are dating, when you are in courtship, anywhere, he will spoil you. But in courtship, say, marriage, you say, okay, now, I've gotten you. Watch out for my real color. But as long as the both of you are sincere and honest with yourselves during courtship and even in marriage, you have to, like, I always tell people, presence of conflict in a relationship does not mean that relationship is not working. It's how it's being handled. In fact, I get scared of people who tell me they don't experience anything. They've not experienced conflict in their relationships. Because conflict is one of the markers of a thriving relationship. Wow. You are coming from a different region. I'm coming from a different region. Different background, mindsets. Okay, someone like me, I love calls. Like, call me. We'll talk 10 hours. I wouldn't mind. My husband, he loves to chat. Wow. He can chat from now till tomorrow, no problem. It wasn't making sense to me. How would someone not want to talk? And then, why would you want to be talking? So that already it can be an instrument for conflict. Yeah. But how it's being resolved, it's where the challenge is. Because some people, they don't know how to resolve conflict. Some people have two ways of resolving conflict, which is wrong. Some sweep it under the carpet. Then some boost it. Do you understand? But when you've learned how to resolve conflicts, it will help you to understand that love, the feeling of love, it's not what you need at that point. Yeah. It's the choice. Because love goes beyond feelings. Love is a choice. Waking up every day to love my husband is a choice. Because I choose to do loving things, say loving words, act in loving ways. I don't know if you're following. Because some people will tell you, I slapped her because I was angry. No. You are still acting on that feelings. You can choose not to slap her. Yeah. And the moment you learn to take charge of your feelings, that's when you know you have grown to become a man or a woman. I felt he annoyed me and I was angry, so I started telling him how useless he is. You know, women, our own is mouth. We can talk. Yeah. How useless is this? At the end of the day, it will still come back to haunt the both of you. So knowing that love goes beyond feelings to choice, you wake up to learn to do loving things. I won't just that was why I say that. Anyone telling you that marriage it's beautiful without telling the challenges actually lie to you. The beauty of marriage lies in the choices the partners make on a daily basis. That's what makes marriage beautiful. Not the idea of marriage, but the actions of the people in the marriage. Because everybody is marrying, but everybody is not having the same experience in marriage. Not because marriage in itself is bad, because God told us, the Bible told us that marriage is honorable, it's beautiful. But the challenge lies in the people involved in the marriage. So love is not enough to make a relationship work. You have to be intentional. You have to talk about commitment. You have to talk about sacrifice. You have to talk about dying to self. Oh, if you want a relationship to work, you have to you have to be willing to die to self, because it's no longer be about you,
Yeah.
about what you feel like doing, about how you are feeling. Because especially for ladies, we always have this mindset that you should know how I'm feeling. You should know. No, 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 no. Even the guy has feelings too.
Yeah.
So love is not enough. Then good relationship don't require work. That's another myth.
Okay.
Good relationship. They feel that good relationship don't require work, just like the first one. No. When I say your marriage must thrive, I love using that because for your marriage to even thrive, you have to work on it. So when you see two people that are actually very honest with themselves, loving and doving, let me use that word.
Yeah.
Don't think that they don't have conflicts. Don't feel that they don't have moments of, like, it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
So good relationship requires work. Don't admire the marriage of Pastor Nenche if you're not willing to do the work of Pastor Nenche.
Yeah.
Don't admire the marriage of another person. In fact, don't celebrate someone's story or someone's glory if you don't know their story.
Yeah.
Because it is the story that makes the glory.
It's true.
So when you say you want to have a beautiful marriage or a beautiful relationship, the first thing you need to do is to go to people that are experiencing the kind of marriage you want. Don't admire them from afar. Go to them and learn of them. That was one of the things that helped me. Apart from reading books, I had the privilege of living with a family. They were not actually perfect, but I lived with two families when I was single, apart from my parents' home. And I, not consciously, I was just doing those things unconsciously because I didn't even know what I was doing then. I was comparing the things that make a beautiful marriage. You know? Okay, because she said this, her husband got angry and he reacted this way. That means if you say this during an argument, this is the result you're going to say. Do you understand me?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I picked it. Okay, this. I picked it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then that's why when I see people looking for perfect mentors, I laugh because there are no perfect mentors anyway. Your job is to pick the right things. Forget about their weaknesses because we are all humans. So when you see marriages, your job is not to start looking for, no, look at the things that made them fail and why they failed and resolve not to make the same mistake.
Yeah.
One of the questions my husband asked me when we were cutting was, will you like to have the kind of marriage your parents had? It's a very sensitive question.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you feel they got it right, then you learn and still know that you're marrying a different man.
Yeah.
Because that's another mistake people make. They want to compare whichever, maybe their ex or whatever, with the man they want to marry. Hey, if it's my dad, it's the way my dad treats my woman, or my mom. Life is not like that.
Yeah.
That's why you pick. There's something we call the general principles of a thriving marriage that works everywhere. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But when you now want to pick the uniqueness of that marriage, that's where you have issues. I don't know if you understand me. There are two different things.
Yeah.
The principles of marriage work anywhere and in all conditions. But the uniqueness of a marriage is peculiar to that marriage.
Exactly.
So if you see a man open a car door for his wife, you don't expect your man to do the same.
Thank you.
Because that's the uniqueness of that marriage. Your husband has his own uniqueness. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
But the general principle of a thriving marriage is do kind things to your spouse. So his definition of kindness can be opening the car door for his wife. Your definition of kindness could be helping her in the kitchen. My husband cooks, so.
Really?
Oh God, he cooks. She'll tell better. let me bust her bubbles. I think she's there, so she'll be receiving some of the bomb. So that she'll tell me, I wish my husband would be doing this thing. Husband is doing. But there are wonderful things her husband is doing. Just like bringing us here, it's a beautiful thing.
Wow.
Like he left everything he was doing to bring us here. Giving her the permission to even stay here is a beautiful thing. There are men that will not even tolerate that. Say, what are you going there to do? Do you understand? So when we understand that marriage is peculiar, unique, just get the general principles. Then bring it to the uniqueness of your marriage. Because one of the reasons why my husband had to tell me to stop reading some of the books I was reading then was that I was carrying the experiences I got from the book. I was expecting him to treat me the same way, and it was not working.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But the moment I understood, okay, pick the principles, leave the experiences, bring the principles to your marriage and make it unique. That was when I started seeing the uniqueness I was looking for. So it takes work to make a relationship thrive. Then I've already said this. A beautiful relationship doesn't mean there won't be arguments. There should be arguments. That's why we have shawarma. That's why we have that's why we have suya. So that at the end of the argument, somebody will buy suya now and apologize. No, just in fact, a relationship will even be boring without arguments.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it though, but it should be boring. Every time people are laughing, like, no, what's the way I carry for his pass? Look behind to know if he's looking at you. I don't know how that's it. So this is my experience. Like, sometimes that time that we are cutting, we'll just have an argument. After the argument, everybody gonna. My phone will just ring. I'll look. He's not the one. I'll keep the phone. I'm angry. I'm just angry. I'll be like, okay, call now. Hey, this message will come in. I will check. He's not the one. Hey, I'll just wait. Then later, he will tell me that he was having the same experience. Like, he was just like, call now. I want to call. All those things. So, arguments, positive conflicts bonds a relationship. I just wish I can explain it well. Like, that's when you even talk about, because if you're not having conflicts, that means somehow you are scared of saying who you are, showing who you are. What do I mean? There are things that definitely your partner is a human being. So there are things that he will do you don't like. But because you are scared, I don't want argument though, I don't want trouble though, you are compounding troubles without knowing. Because the things you can't handle in courtship, in marriage, you see the square root.
Wow.
Do you understand me? Yeah. Some people run away from conflict, and at the end of the day, it becomes a time bomb. Any unresolved conflict is a time bomb, waiting for the right time to burst, to just blow. So, but when you talk about it lovingly, maturely, funny enough, sometimes it won't end well, and it's part of it. Because someone does not want to be told the truth. Even me, I don't like the truth. That's human, whatever for you. Someone looking at you in the face now telling you, God's time, this thing you did now, it's wrong. Your ego will want to suppress. It will take a different kind of Holy Spirit. Like, for you to acknowledge it immediately, except for men. Hey, don't touch their ego. That's why when women tell me, this thing my husband is doing is wrong, and I corrected him, and it got worse. It's not about correcting someone. It's about how you are doing the correction. Do you understand me? So, in marriage or in a relationship, conflict is inevitable. Arguments. That's the reason I don't like the lights being on while sleeping. My end, it's a beautiful thing, and on his end, it may not be a beautiful thing. But then, if we just decide, okay, we don't like the lights being on, and for that reason, the lights should not be on, and then you insist, I like the lights being on, and for that reason, the lights should be on. It's already, you're already going high on the argument and all of that. So it's about coming to that place of, we call it beautiful compromise. Where you say, okay, look at what we're going to do. Probably we'll get a dimmer light so that even when it's on, it won't be so flashy. Like, coming to that place of compromise is always very important in a relationship. So, but that's one of the myths. People believe that once we are arguing, it's a red flag and it shouldn't be accepted, but it's not always true. Then the next one that is also important when we talk about is the fact that people believe that you need your partner to complete you.
Wow.
Especially from the side of ladies, they believe that my rib, I don't know who gave us that mindset, like missing rib. Yeah. I learned this from my Ismiro as far back as my single days, that you are complete. You are whole. In fact, being single, it's being complete, because this pen is single and it's complete. So, but our mindset of singleness is different. Our mindset of singleness has to be someone that is not married. But the truth is that even in marriage, you need to be single because you need to be complete. You're not a woman or a lady. That's even one of the challenges we're having in this time. A lady waiting somewhere for your knight in a shining armor to come and whisk you off. No, you should understand that you are complete. You don't need anyone to complete, because obviously that we are complete in Christ.
Yeah.
So what marriage does is complementation, not completion, because you are complete. If in fact, if you come to a relationship half baked or half, you are ruining the other person.
Sure.
You end up ruining the other person. So you have to understand that you don't need anybody to complete you. Your partner is there to complement you and not to complete you. Because once you enter into a relationship with this completion mentality, you are telling us that you are not complete, that you are not whole, that you are a part waiting for another part to fix you up. But that is not God's ideal for marriage. God's ideal for marriage is that one will chase 1,000, not half.
Yeah.
One, then two, that's one will now chase 10,000. But when you are coming and you are half, and this person is coming one, it has not completed that rule or that law. That is why sometimes in marriage, instead of people to get better, they get worse, because this person is coming one, this person is coming half. So it's now 1.5. And God did not say that 1.5 will chase 10,000. He said 2 will chase 10,000. Yeah. So if you are still single, this is the perfect time to work towards completeness, to work towards wholeness. Don't believe that the presence of a man or a woman will complete you. Yeah. I once shared something on my Facebook some time ago about I don't know how we got to this point that when a guy is misbehaving, they tell the family, let me just say to neighbor, Jen why? Just go find a wife for him. Once he gets married, his brain will come together. I pity for that woman. Because that woman will not change that man. Because he's coming half-baked. He's not coming a whole man. So the woman that bring into his life, they're just inviting her to come and suffer. And that's why when people say, I need a man that will love me for who I am, I look at you. I used to say that thing. But it's so that a real man will love you for who you are, but will not allow you to remain who you are. Exactly. Because the way you are cannot take you to where you want to be. Someone like me, if you had allowed me to where I am, oh Jesus, somehow I'll be somewhere in at Osime Market doing some trade by barter. Because the real me, I love flashy life, not really flashy life. Maybe, how do I explain this? Anything goes kind of life. Anything goes like. But I ventured into a lot. So when you talked about women development, I laughed. I ventured into a lot. And one of them was, I was into counterbalancing of phones.
Really?
I was into repairing of phones. Oh God. So then every day when we are cutting, I just tell my husband, I'm going to make coffee. At a point, the people around there started calling me phone engineer. But that was not the kind of life I wanted. Yeah. Oh, I was just doing this. He accepted me that way. In fact, it's only one of the reasons why he got attracted to me was that how do I explain it? That free life. I don't know how to, should I use the word how to act the more. I love being myself. Yeah. This is me. As a matter of fact, when he was transferred to a new station, one of the things was that the youth, we have to come together, help him to pack his things. Nobody knew we were cutting there, no. We're just being ourselves. Me, after when we are done packing the whole thing in this open roof, what's it called? Lorry. So the ladies among us are like, okay, there's no space again. Let's go and look for a keke or something, tricycle, and that will transport us to that place. So the guys, they jumped into the lorry now. Me, I jumped. I jumped though. He said that singular thing. Hi, he said no, this one is different. Like, I not send you. So he accepted that, but he knew that might not send you can function well in another dimension. Yeah. While still helping me to become better. Do you understand me? So that was where the place of brushing now started coming up. I know send you, but you know go feel anything for make up for now. Is that kind of so? He knew I was called to impact lives, and that I know send you. What it helped me to do was that I was oh God, I was so careless in my pursuit of God. I was so careless in helping ladies. Actually, she was like, oh God, I was daring. Let me use that word. I was daring. The first conference we held was in my single days. We had no sponsors, we had nothing. I just woke up one day, God said, bring ladies together. So that daring spirit, that was what he picked. So he brushed the daring spirit to become something meaningful. So I was just so daring. So that's what we need to understand. That okay, you have to go for someone that loves you the way you are, but don't settle for someone that loves you the way you are. Make sure this person is willing to help you become who you should be. Who you should be. My first, the first book I published, the time I was writing that book, he was asking me about the book. We were still cutting then. So each time he asked me about the book, I would just be giving him long grammar. You know, me, I love to talk. After beautifying the grammar, okay, I'm almost done with the book. I'm just adding some finishing touches. You know, this book needs to. It's okay, no problem. So for close to 2-3 years, I was working on the same book. So one day, we were just doing our lovey-dovey talks. You know, I said, hey, that book, how far? And I started up with the story again. No, you know, oh God, I won't forget that night. He lashed me. One book is taking you how many years to publish? I was crying over the phone. I was crying. After crying, we ended the call. Guess what? Everything about that book ended that night. Like the next day, that book was ready for publication. So, but had it been, you were just okay, no problem. Okay, let's leave it later. Sometimes you just have to understand that love is beyond the lovey-doveys. You have to push beyond that. So, a whole lot of them, but let's stop here.
Wow. I've already learned a lot for myself. And I had other questions, but I said that one will be the last one. Okay. So, and we are booking you for a fresh session. We will focus on women development. But I feel like this should be a full paid class. I'm repeating it again. Okay. Looks like I'm going to place this. I'm going to put a price on this because I feel like shouting. I'm inspired. Like I'm blessed. I got a lot of values. So thank you so much for making our time to be on this show with us. All right, we are so excited to have you, the value and everything. Thank you very, very much. But before we end this section,
I know there must be a but. I was waiting for that but.
Before we now end the show,
okay,
there is this lady that has been in 3 different relationships.
Okay.
All right, and was messed up in the 3.
Okay.
And to think of it, the 3 were prominent men, like let's use men of God in quotes.
Okay.
And then this lady is now so scared of getting into a relationship again. And then she happens to meet the holistic coach. You understand?
Okay.
Advise such a lady.
First of all, I know that when she comes, probably to talk about it, the first thing she will want to do is to cry. And then the first thing I will do is to allow her to cry. Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
When you trust people too much and they end up disappointing you and messing up your life, it's always so bitter, so painful. So if the lady is here, the first thing she will do while talking about her story is to cry. And the first thing I will do is to give her my hanky. Because I know it's a whole lot. I wouldn't tell her, I understand how you feel. I don't understand. Because her feeling is different. So I'll allow her to share her emotions, to cry. Then after that, she will have to understand, I'm talking to you because I know you're listening to me. You have to understand that there is hope for you and that your experiences are not you. Then we will now come to the reality. First of all, if you don't discover what happened that brought about, if it's just one, it's understandable. But this is 1, 2, 3. You have to sit down and ask yourself questions. If actually you played any role that brought about the whole thing, that's one. The role can be trusting too much, you know, and the next role can be failing to separate a person from his portfolio. I always say that. In fact, that was one of the things that guided me during my single days. Whether you're a pastor, a bishop, a general overseer, whatever you are, when I'm dealing with you, especially in terms of marriage, I deal with you as a person. Do you understand? Because I've seen ladies that lost guard because they met someone that says, I'm a man of God. Oh, he's a man of God. He cannot do anything to me. He cannot hurt me. This is that. So, understanding that the person is different from the portfolio will help you in your next relationship. It's like you have a thing with men of God. So, separating the person from the portfolio will help you. And right now that this has happened, I wouldn't advise you to jump into a new relationship. One of the things you have to do is to go through the process of healing. Because if you check, you may discover that what led to your venturing into the second and even the third relationship was you trying to find solace. Trying to find, what people don't understand is that when a relationship fails, it's not always beautiful to enter into a new one immediately. You have to sit down and heal first, and then analyze and discover what your contributions were towards the failed relationship. It takes two people to make a relationship fail. Though in most cases, it's always about what one party is not doing right. But for you to even permit it to that point, it shows that, okay, it's like you are too permissive to allow people to abuse you before you now come to the point of realizing, I can't take this abuse again. It's time to let go. So if you sit down and analyze, you discover that, okay, I made this mistake here, and I repeated this mistake here, and I repeated this mistake here, and that's why this keep repeating. When you've discovered this, you will sit down and ask yourself questions. What can I do right in my next relationship? And then, just like I said, always learn to separate a person from his portfolio. Why I'm saying that is because you used a man of God. I don't want to limit it to that. Always learn to separate a person from his portfolio. And I wouldn't know what brought about the failed relationship. I wouldn't know why it has to be. But don't you think that in some cases, when it's concurrent, that the lady must have contributed something towards it? Some ladies don't believe that there's something wrong with them, in quotes.
Exactly.
So it's always about what the guy didn't do right. I don't know if you've noticed it. That's why most times, as if we are talking to ladies about avoiding red flags from guys. You really hear about red flags from ladies because the word that's projected is always the guy that is getting it wrong. Just like my relationship. When we are having some challenges, people were, my mom, I don't want to talk about this, but the worst thing you would do in a relationship is to involve third parties. Hey God, this is not the best way to talk about it. So because you always talk from your own point, and because you're a woman, people will pity you the more.
It's true.
Hey, this guy. Hey, this guy. Hey, this guy. And because the guy is not talking now, people think that he's the one at fault. It was like very relaxing. Amara, she know you're stubborn. Yeah, I'll not shout too. But when I don't want to do something, if you tell me, okay, no problem. When you now be waiting for the result, you will not see. And other things. So you have to understand that it's not always about the guy getting it wrong. You have to sit down and ask yourself. Because no matter how you cry about a broken relationship, if you don't do it right next time, you still experience the brokenness. And the world doesn't pity broken people. In this generation, they will want to break you the more. So when someone breaks your heart and you go to the next person, that's why I tell people a lot to say. Before you start a new relationship, ask the person what made the last one to fail. Because it will help you to know if this is a red flag you should avoid, or if it's something you should know how to tackle. So the lady should ask herself, what are the things I contributed towards this failed relationship? And of course, I just believe that this is something all of us should know, but let me just keep saying it. When you're not married to a guy, you shouldn't involve yourself sexually. Sometimes when a relationship fails, what hurts the lady the most or the more, it's not that the relationship failed. It's just that she gave herself.
It's true.
Do you understand? Like, if it doesn't work out with someone, no matter how you love the person, okay, no problem, we'll move on. But if there's already a connection sexually, the lady always feel that she was used person.
It's true.
Do you understand me? So, and then if she leaves, because I don't know why ladies believe that sex will keep a man. I don't know why they believe it. So if that first relationship failed and you know you gave in, when ladies come to me for relationship advice, most times I discover that they keep saying, this guy was all over me, no. And at a point, it was as if he stopped, his interest declined. The first thing I always ask them is, and I'm like, I've not been disappointed. Have you had sex with this person? She'll say yes. It's natural. Guys are hunters. So I don't know if you're a hunter. No, even if you're not hunting from the other aspect.
You explain that statement
No,
too,
guys
so
are-
that they will not come for you.
No, guys are hunters. They love game. How do I explain? How do I mean? Both, like, they're excited when they have something they are pursuing. Do you understand? So that's why when you are courting or in a relationship, it's always advisable. Okay, I know this. We just can't wait to do this, but I'm trying to speak Igbo now because when I'm trying to put my heart, even if like don't that aspect should just be there. So most times in a relationship, when the lady feels okay, and the guy will pressure her. You're claiming that you love me, but you don't want to. After all, we'll get married at the end of the day, and then the lady will be like, okay, sis, we'll still get married. The moment that experience happens, sometimes it's not even the guy's fault. It's a wiring. I don't know how to explain it. He will begin to lose interest, and then what the relationship that was once lively and whatever. It will begin to drop. And what will now happen will be that the lady will become the chaser. So what you'll now be hearing is, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? The guy will be saying, you did not do anything wrong. I just want to have my space. A guy that is pursuing will not want to have his space. Because he knows what he's pursuing. But when you start hearing, I want to have my space, check very well. Is that he has gotten what he wanted? Or why he came, he didn't get what he wanted? Or what he wants. So he feels that there's no need. But the real guy, no matter what, if you insist and you keep it, sometimes he will threaten because men, when it comes upon them, hey. But if you maintain your stand, at the end of the day, it will be for your benefit. But once you allow that aspect, it's even enough for a guy to lose interest. And the part that pains me is that once that happens, just like I said, the lady becomes the chaser. And it's always so depressing. She'll start being the one doing the calling, doing the begging, doing the pleading and everything. So if this lady has discovered that this is it, this is what I am experiencing, if I gave in sex to this person because I felt that it would have bonded the relationship, at the end of the day it failed, and you met the second person and you gave into sex again, if this is like, you have to be sure, you have to check that thing you are getting wrong. And if at the end of the day you've checked and you feel that you're not getting anything wrong in quote, because I don't want to believe that with the three guys it's still the same. If you have checked and you're not getting anything wrong and you didn't give into sex, or even if you gave into sex, this is the best time to put yourself together and know that a mistake does not define you.
Exactly.
And then put your life together. Find purpose. These are the two things I teach. Two major things I teach: relationship and purpose. Because you can't separate the two.
Yes, exactly.
Even relationship should be purposeful, purpose driven. If you, I want to talk to this set of people. I don't want to talk to them here. Those people that will be in a relationship that will be saying, "Let's be going and see how it goes." So these are things a lady should figure out. And then she should also check if she was clingy. Some people call it clingy, some people call it clingy. But I've seen serious brothers, like O.C. Gostine, like serious brothers that has vision. And this lady comes in, she wants to be the center of attention and attraction. She wants your life to revolve around her. If you mistakenly go on a retreat or whatever, she feels you don't love me again and all of that. She is suffocating you, and at the point you will get tired.
Are
You
you a
see?
prophet?
No, these are realities, you know.
Yeah.
Some good ladies think that it's only when you give into sex that a guy gets tired of you. Sometimes when you suffocate a guy, he gets tired of you.
Yes.
Like, this guy is, there are other things he's thinking apart from you. Yes, you're part of his thought, but for crying out loud, if you are married, won't he make money again? Will the love bring food on the table?
I know.
Won't he do ministry again? Like, there are other things, but there are some ladies, and most times why it's like that is because when a lady has not discovered who she is and her purpose, she wants her life to revolve around another person's life. So she wants the guy to be on the phone 24/7 with her. She wants the guy to, and at the point, the guy, like, if he can't take it again, that I don't know how it happens, but there's a point in a guy's life, his head gets overfilled. Let me not even say filled, and the next thing he will do is withdrawal. He may not tell you point blank that he's no longer interested, but the next thing you will see is what we call withdrawal, and you will now be doing more of the chasing. The point, if the guy is courageous, he will tell you openly, this is not going to work out. But if he's a coward, you tell you, my mother said, my father said. So there are just so many things the lady has to check, because I know definitely she'll venture into a new relationship, but before she does that, she needs to check out, she needs to figure out the things that she didn't do right, that's ended up bringing her such repetitive experiences. And if at the end it's not from her, she should relax and know that I've known people that ventured into various relationships that failed. I don't know if I have that heart too. Maybe that was why God gave me mine on time.
Straight.
I don't have stress for heartbreak. So I know ladies that they ventured into different kinds of relationships, failed relationships. Most times, it's not like something is wrong with them. You know, we have guys that are funny. Looking at them facially, you think, oh, this is the kind of guy I want. No. Bam, he will show you his real color. So when you have done it once, twice, and thrice, at the point you start feeling that something is wrong with you. But in reality, something may not even be wrong with you. It's just that you have been meeting the wrong kind of guy. So that was why I said, when you have checked and it's not from you, just focus on your life. At the right time, the right person will come.
Wow. Thank you so much. I hope you got that. Please, how can we follow you up and connect with you?
Okay, you can follow me on Facebook, Amara Chitoo Ogunebunam. And then for young ladies and women, I host a 6-week mentorship program for young ladies and women. I teach them how to discover their purpose, how to thrive in their relationships and marriages, and how to become the best version of themselves. So it's usually a 6-week program, a mentorship program, that's it's being held on WhatsApp and Telegram. Thrive Ladies Conclave. That's the name, Thrive Ladies Conclave. So the next edition will be coming up on the first day of February. Registration is already ongoing.
Wow.
So you can go ahead and reach out and register yourself.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll attach the link to the registration to the comment of this video. Okay. So you can find it anywhere anywhere you are watching this video, whether on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube majorly. We'll attach the link there so that you can register. All right. Thank you so much once again for being on the show. We are so excited to have you, and we hope to still have more of you here. We
with
already
shawarma.
There is no problem. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching till this point. I would encourage you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow us across our social media handles to not miss out on our subsequent uploads. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys time.